Thank you, my fellow Toastmaster members of SCBD Toastmasters. Thank you for being on time. And now we are coming back after 3 weeks of hiatus before the holiday. And thank you so much for coming. And we are still expecting for some members and also some guests to join us in this evening. But nonetheless, your participation truly excites our meeting for today. And thank you for turning on your camera and also be fully present. And yeah, let's enjoy today's meeting. And that is all from me. That's quite fast, yeah? And now with the power vested in me, I hereby open this meeting. And now I would like to hear your spirit because it's been quite a while since the last time I heard your spirit and also your voices. So unmute yourself and happy morning, everyone.
Happy morning.
Morning, happy.
Awesome. Yeah. Who do we have here? Oh, thank you. We also have Toastmaster Dini and Toastmaster Indah are joining us. Thank you so much for my beloved SCBD members. Thank you for coming. And I am so delightful to see all of these beautiful faces and also handsome smiles as well. And yep, once again, I know that everything is back to normal, but I'm so grateful to be able to, understand and also feel the vibe that you already portray and radiate throughout this evening. And I hope that we'll be able to keep the same spirit until the end of this meeting. So obviously, you already know me. We are expecting for others to attend. As per usual, I would like to give a little bit information about what we have done and also what we are going to do. And that is exactly the spirit that we always try to implement here in Toastmasters. But nonetheless, just sit back, relax, and welcome to SCBD Toastmasters. And thank you for the visiting members and also the guests who are joining with us today. Now, a little bit introduction about our club and Toastmasters International. As you already figured out about Toastmasters International, it has been almost a century old, where it has been a non-profit educational organization that teaches public speaking and leadership skills to everyone. And of course, by being a member, you'll be able to connect it with hundreds of members across the globe. And thank you for enrolling yourself to any of these designated pathways in the pathway system of Toastmasters International. But if you want to explore more about that, feel free to contact our Vice President for Education, and we'll be delightful to help you with regard to this path. So I know that time flies even faster than we are flipping down the hands, but this year we are approaching the end of this tenure as we are upholding a spirit and a vision to provide a platform where everyone can become a better individual by striving for progress. And thank you for always instilling the values of being structured, collaborative, bold, and determined, because as per usual, SCBD Toastmasters is determined to provide a platform where everyone can become a better individual by striving for progress. Now we are coming back to our regular schedule on Friday evening from 7 to 9 p.m. Jakarta time. Worry not, today I will be informing about some surprises that we have had in store, that SCBD Toastmasters is preparing some big events for every members, not only for members, but also the guests to experience altogether to uplift the utmost benefits of joining Toastmasters. But nonetheless, should you wish to know more about our activities, especially in our club, feel free to contact us. And for guests, don't worry, you can click the link in our Instagram profile. There's a button of chat us via WhatsApp, and you will be directed to our Vice President for membership. That is all from me. And now I would like to hand over the control to our host for this evening, or so it's called the Toastmaster of the meeting. Toastmaster Wira, are you there?
Hello.
Hello. Toastmaster Wira, the yours.
Okay. Morning happy, everybody.
Morning happy.
Today is Friday the 13th. Some of you might associate it with the day of bad luck, black cats, along with Halloween's horror stuff. But for me, I associate it with one slasher villain, aka Jason Voorhees. Toastmaster Ganda, can you share the screen for my slide? Because I'm in a car and I really can't show my laptop.
Sure.
Thank you very much. So yeah, our theme for today is Boo, a scary good time. And don't forget to use the word of the day, shriek. What does shriek means? Well, it's a job for another evaluator team, but she will explain her role later, or his role later. Now, I want to ask, in a Scream franchise, what's your favorite horror movie? What's your favorite scary movie? Anybody here's a horror fan?
Horror fan?
Me.
Everybody is a horror? Okay. Who's that?
I love Freddy Krueger.
Who loves Freddy Krueger? I could... Bangsal 13. Oh yeah, I've heard of that movie. I haven't watched it though. Who says you love Freddy Krueger?
Inda. Sorry, Toastmaster Wira, I'm driving too, so I cannot type.
Toastmaster. It's okay. All right, that's okay. All right, now we can just share our favorite horror movie in the chat, so we don't have to disturb. Or if you can unmute. But for me, I want to share my horror movie as well. So next slide, Toastmaster Garda. Another one. Okay, my favorite is Halloween, a 1978 movie directed by John Carpenter, which is a story about an escaped mental patient named Michael Myers stalking a babysitter who was played by Jamie Lee Curtis. And to me, this is one of my favorite movies because some of the kills are freaking awesome. And not only that, one of the character played by late great Donald Pleasance, Sam Loomis, is freaking awesome. So yeah, now let's go to another slide. Now let's play a little game. Who is the killer in the first movie of Friday the 13th? Anybody know? You can chat or you can unmute yourself. Okay. So if you don't know who it is, go to the next slide. Toastmaster Garda. It's Jason's mother, Pamela Voorhees. Now we got to go to the next. There will be 3 agenda. First one, the prepared speech, only for members. Second, tabletop members and guests. So guests, if you want to show your voice, you can join table topic speech. And finally, evaluation speech, which is the continuation of prepared speech. Slide. In continuation to this horror theme, I'm not gonna call them the general evaluation team, but the general evaluator and his group of Cenobites from Hellraiser, which will be led by Toastmaster Ishraki. Instead of hooks and chains to show us pain and pleasure, they gave us notes to make us a better speaker. Toastmaster Ishraki, are you there?
Yeah. Yes, I'm here, Toastmaster Wira. So happy morning. So thank you, Toastmaster Wira. So happy morning, my fellow Toastmasters and guests. Welcome back to our SCBD Toastmasters meeting. And I would like to introduce you to my gang, which is General Evaluator. Let me share my screen first. All right. Here it is. First, I will call Toastmaster India to explain about what is grammarian. Toastmaster India, screen is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Saraki. So happy morning, everyone.
Happy morning.
Happy morning.
Happy morning.
I think 2 weeks, right? We didn't have any meeting, or 3 weeks. And I'm happy tonight because I'll be the grammarian. My role for today is to highlight the incorrect grammar for our learning later. And then, of course, the beautiful quotes that the speaker is going to say in their speech tonight. So the word of the day for tonight is shriek. And this can be a verb and it can be also a noun. So if you think of a shriek, think of a scream. Yeah, both has similar meaning, right? So you can use as a verb, the audience shriek with laughter, or as a noun, shrieks of laughter. So use it as many as you can because the RWOD counter will count the usage of word of the day tonight. And I will share my reports about the grammar at the end of the meeting, or when I called by the general evaluator. Back to you, Dr. Saraki.
All right, thank you so much, Toastmaster Dentia, as our grammarian for tonight. Let's call another role. I will call Toastmaster Yara. The screen is yours.
Hello, happy morning, my fellow Toastmaster and guests. Okay, it's my turn. My name is Yara, and I'm sorry. First, am I eligible? I'm sorry. Am I visible and audible?
Yes,
yes, you are.
All right. Okay. Today I will be the timer. As a timer, I have a responsibility to alert each speaker about the time they have left. By changing my background into green like this, yellow, and red. So for first, it's icebreaker. For icebreaker's speech, it should be for until 6 minutes length. And and I will change my background into green at 4 minutes like this. And I will add 5 minutes, my background will change into yellow, and 6 minutes into red. For prepared speech, it should be 5 until 7 minutes. And I will change my background into green at 5 minutes, 6 minutes with yellow background, and red at 7 minutes. So for table topic speech, it should be 1 until 2 minutes. And I will change my background to remind speaker with green at 1 minute, yellow at 1 minute 30 seconds, and red at 2 minutes. And for the last one is evaluation. It should be 2 until 3 minutes. So I will change my background into green at 2 minutes, and yellow at 2 minutes 30 seconds, and 3 minutes at 3 minutes with green, with red background like this. So what the meaning about red background? It's mean that the speaker need to wrap up their speech in less than 30 seconds for eligible to be voting. So that's all from me as a timer. I will get back to GE Toastmaster Raki.
Thank
you.
All right, thank you so much, our Madam Timer. And please, to all speakers, be noticed with our timer. And let's move on to another role taker. I will call, wait a minute. I will call as our RWOD counter. Toastmaster Data, the screen is yours.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Aki. Happy morning, everyone. So my name is Deta, and tonight I will be the RWOD counter. So basically, my task tonight is to note words and sounds that are used as a pause filler, or I will also note for the overused words such as and, while, but, so, and like that. And also some of the filler sounds such as and and also I will note some of the repeats words or repeat phrase, such as if you repeat words like I, or this means, something like that. I will note it also. And another thing is that I will note the word of the day that are used by anyone who speaks, which is tonight, the word of the day is Drake. So please use it as many as you can during the speech. And at the end of the meeting, I will report the number of items that each speaker used to these expressions. And I will report it at the end of the meeting. That's all from me. So back to you, TM Raki.
All right. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Bernadette, as our RWOD counter. And let's move on to our last role taker, which is Toastmaster Agung. So Toastmaster Agung, the screen is yours.
Okay, hello everybody. Okay, hello everybody. Happy morning. I cannot stop dancing because the music just played. All right, everybody. My name is Agung. Tonight I will be the ballot counter for this meeting. Basically, as a ballot counter, I will create polls during this meeting. So we will be having a report from the timer. This is Toastmaster Yara. So I will create the polls based on that report. So who is eligible, who is not eligible. So I will create the polls, and then I will share the links for the polls in the chat box, and I will give a 1 minute silent to give you time for voting. And then during each ballot cast, you are going to vote the best prepared speakers, best table topic speakers, and also the best evaluators for tonight. So please use your rights to vote, to cast your vote, to encourage the speaker. So if you are so encouraging to vote, I believe that the speakers will be having like the spirit to deliver their speech very well, right? So by the end of the meeting, we will have a Hall of Fame for the most voted speakers. So I can wait to the remarkable speech from the speakers tonight. So back to you, Toastmaster Raki ST.
All right, thank you so much, Toastmaster Agung as our ballot counter. The last but not least, this is the part of me. I'm Raki, and tonight I will be your general evaluator. What is general evaluator? Actually, I will watch this meeting from the beginning until the end, and I will take some notes based on what I see on this meeting. I think that's all from General Evaluator Gang, and I will give it back to our Tom. Toastmaster Wira, the screen is yours.
Okay, Toastmaster Isharki, thank you very much. Now we go back to the screen. Thank you very much. Okay. Now we go to our first agenda, which is prepared speech. Our first speaker is delivering her icebreaker speech, which is Toastmaster Dini. I like the title here, The Beauty of Imperfection, but I'm not going to be the one introducing her. It's her job. It's the job for her Evaluator, Toastmaster Indah. Toastmaster Indah, the screen is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Wira. I'd like to apologize, everyone. I still cannot turn on the video, but however, let's welcome our first speaker, Toastmaster Dini, who is going to deliver her very first speech, level 1, project 1. It is the icebreaker, and I will be her evaluator, and I will share my evaluation report on the last session. So let's welcome Toastmaster Dini, Beauty of Imperfection. Beauty of Imperfection, Toastmaster Dini.
Okay, happy morning, dear fellow Toastmasters. So,
Morning,
I have questions for you. Have you ever experienced a life crisis? A time when you have the bad times and you're continually filled with doubt or disappointment? Or perhaps have you ever felt jealous with someone else's achievement because you feel stuck with your life? So yeah, like Wira, if you ever feel that, or if you are now experiencing that, let me tell you something. Worry not, you are not alone. And we are not perfect. And don't be afraid, it won't last for so long if you can handle it well. I know that because I am a person who's easily jealous of other people's achievements, be it my friends or public figures who are the same age as me. Like when I found out my friend got a scholarship to go to school in the country I want, or when I figured that there is a colleague at my office who has served as a head of one level below the directors with her age not far from me. I often think, why does my life feel stuck like this? Especially if at that time I was having problems, for example, in work and career, then my mind was getting heavier. Like I'm shrieking in my head, why? Why I can't achieve something like them? When can I be successful like them? But then my mind was busy thinking about other people, and I forgot that I also have a number of achievements to be grateful for. I am healthy, still have a complete family, have a beautiful, smart daughter, sufficient sustenance, a home to return to, and so on. And then I try to change my thinking. Why do I have to think about other people's lives when we have our own lives and so many things that can be achieved? Then I also realized that we are not perfect, but we can continue perfecting ourselves. And with these imperfections, we can move on and not get stuck in our comfort zone. And since then, I have always focused on finding ways to develop myself in various ways. One of them is by joining SCBD Toastmasters, and I am deeply thankful and blessed to have found this amazing and encouraging community where I can push myself to grow while having the opportunity to meet wonderful friends like all of you. Really love all of you. I also read and follow the Atomic Habits book, if you know, and now I'm making 1% improvement every day. And because of that, now I believe in the progress, not the results. I am a person with high ambition. I easily feel like a failure if I can't reach my goals. But now I believe that the failure is the part of the progress, that I should enjoy and leverage it to continue push myself until I really can achieve my goals. So if you ever feel like breaking down, I suggest you to do these 3 things. First, take a deep breath, meditate if needed. Second, be grateful for your life and what you have now, health, family, a home. And third, focus on yourself and the things that can help you grow. Because I believe in Friedrich Nietzsche and Kelly Clarkson that said, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Okay, I was singing now, maybe later, yeah. So anyway, to close my speech, I encourage you to thank yourself every day because you know that you are imperfect, but you can accept it and continue trying to be the best version of you. And now I also encourage you to give yourself a round of applause because you all deserve it. We are imperfect and we are proud of it. Thank you very much.
Okay, I want everybody to unmute themselves and give a round of applause to Toastmaster Dini.
Congratulations, Toastmaster.
Congratulations,
Toastmaster Dini.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Toastmaster Dini.
For some of you don't know, it's a tradition for first speakers to get a standing ovation, or in this case, unmute themselves. People unmute themselves and give a round of applause to the first speaker. So, or the icebreaker, to be precise. So yeah, your only competition is you, and I agree with that. Now we go to the second speaker, which is Toastmaster Salman. Go back to the screen again. Yeah, thank you very much. He will deliver his level 1 project 2 speech, making family is a safe place for you and me. His evaluator, Toastmaster Uyun. The screen is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Wira. Happy morning, everyone. Finally, we meet again after 3 weeks of not meeting each other. So today, we will listen to Toastmaster Salman's speech in the project called Writing a Speech with Purpose. It's a new curriculum, new project in a pathway that I haven't experienced before. So the project purpose is for Toastmaster Salman to learn or review basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. Toastmaster Salman has shared me his speech purpose statement, and by the end, I will be back with my evaluation and I will tell you what purpose that Toastmaster Salman would love to deliver to you all. So 5 to 7 minutes, making family a safe place for you and me, making family a safe place for you and a space for you and me, Toastmaster Salman, the Zoom is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Uyun, for the introduction. Happy morning, fellow Toastmaster and esteemed guests. It's very nice to be here again after our Eid al-Fitr break. I see everyone is full of smile. I see everyone eager to learn and support each other here, like usual. So I'm going to start by telling a little story. So once upon a time, there was a man. He was 29 years old. He had a comfortable job, but he wasn't married yet. Now this man, he has a little brother whom he loved very much. Little brother was 26. He was a software engineer, so he made about 2 or 3 times what the older brother made. And little brother has just bought a car and just recently got married. So this normally wouldn't be a problem. After all, these two brothers love and respect each other. But then Eid al-Fitr came, the long holiday, where it is a tradition to have a huge family gathering, a once-a-year event where we are judged and faced with a personal performance review from our elders. And being a 29 years old who hasn't gotten married, who was surpassed by his little brother, it's not really an enviable position. So the other brothers shrieked and wished Eid al-Fitr was cancelled again. Now, I'm going to be honest. That man is me. But this doesn't happen only to me. Every year, during the long holiday, we can hear this collective shriek from people who in one way or another are going to be tortured by their family because they haven't met their KPI in life. This has huge implication, of course. Relationship could turn sour. Some people might choose not to come at all to family gathering for years and break their family ties. And a family gathering that's supposed to be fun can turn into a battleground where everyone compare each other, turn down each other, and all while eating tasty ketupat and opor. But doesn't have to be this way. And on this occasion, I would like to propose several things we can do to make our family gathering less hostile and less vicious, to make a family safe space for you and me. There are actually 4 things that I would like to share with you all today that you can try on the next holiday. The first tip is be there. No matter how hard it might seem, don't run from your family, especially because as millennial or late Gen Z, we are the one who is in the most perfect position to set the mood and the tone of our family gathering. The elder respected us on some level. The kids look up to us on some level. So if there are going to be any changes on this old age tradition, it's going to be started with us. So brace yourself and just be there. Second, do your research. Find out the general situation of your extended family, especially the sensitive issues of each person, like family issues, financial issues, etc. So this will help on 2 things. First, it helps you not to step on a landmine that can trigger an all-out war. And second, it provides you with the ability to swoop in and save the situation when tension arises. For example, when a person has a difficulty conceiving was asked inadvertently by others, when are you going to have a baby? You can casually divert the conversation before it turns ugly. Talk about Ukraine instead, for example, talk about Russia or Putin or something else. It's more appropriate for the occasion. Now, the third tips is be vulnerable. We have to understand that the most sensitive question people ask, such as, when are you going to get married? When are you going to get a job or graduate? Was asked because it's the most convenient topic to talk about. But if we are willing to go deeper beyond the surface question and have a deep, vulnerable conversation, such question won't even arise. Just talk about, for example, the difficulty you are facing at work. Talk about your love story. Talk about your latest misadventure. Just be open. So even though you might not feel close with your family, once you open up, they will open up as well, and your bond will get stronger instead of getting strained. Now, the 4th tips is to be constructive. I believe everyone has a lesson to contribute and a lesson they need to learn. Instead of focusing on people's shortcomings, ask instead about something they are good at and that they can share to the forum. For example, you can ask your first graduate cousin what they learned in college. You can ask your older uncles, on how they deal with the crisis of '98, for example, so on and so forth. This will make your family meeting more valuable and insightful instead of just a collection of random bickering. So I think that's the 4 tips I can share to improve our family gathering. Be there, do your research, be vulnerable, and be constructive. Now, these 4 tips might be effective for some, might not be effective for others. But the most important thing is that by showing our willingness to turn this yearly torture into something positive, we can start a whole new generation of healthier extended family relationship where everyone can feel welcome, where everyone can feel safe, and everyone felt like part of family. I think that's all that I can share today. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you very much, Toastmaster Salman. If I have to be honest, that kind of conversation, it's like a little kid saying, my Lego is bigger than your Lego. Oy vey. Not gonna lie, it's very annoying to hear. Now,
You're muted, Toastmaster Wira.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry. So yeah, thank you very much, Toastmaster Salman. Yeah, it's kind of like, it's like comparing my Lego to your Lego, that kind of thing. I don't really like that conversation. Now we go back to the 3rd speaker, all right? 3rd speaker, Toastmaster Garda. He will deliver his level 5 project 1. The title of speech, 4B, and his evaluator is TM Andika. TM Andika, the screen is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the meeting. Today, or tonight, we're going to listen to Toastmaster Garda's speech on High Performance Leadership Project. Actually, this is his first speech, And the purpose of this project is for Toastmaster Garda to apply his leadership and planning knowledge to develop a project plan, organize a guidance committee, and implement the plan with the help of a team. And this is also the chance for him to introduce his plan and vision. Toastmaster Garda, 4B. 4B, Toastmaster Garda.
Thank you, Toastmaster Andika. Am I visible and audible?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. The letter B. I know it comes second when it comes to an alphabetical order, or it might sound a little bit simple because, B is sort of very basic when it comes to composing a word. But do you know how a simple letter can turn into something fruitful and even magical when you can work on this simple letter, especially when you have a vision on how to exemplify what you have built and what desire that you have in mind in order to bring the growth of something that you truly love. And in this case, my beloved SCBD Toastmasters Club. This 4B project might sound very simple and very easy to live by, but it actually comprises the dream of all members joining SCBD Toastmasters. Why is that? Because from this 4B, I gathered a lot of introductory part where, to some extent, I did a small research on how the progress of, in this case, in this situation, COVID-19 pandemic, how it has affected our daily lives. So according to recent data from our government, that the number of COVID-19 active cases has shown a downtrend. And as we all know that based on as of yesterday, actually, the active cases of COVID-19 has declined to 335 active cases. And to date, it is also a fact that SCBD Toastmasters is a home to 36 active members, and the numbers is still growing. And the fact that our members are spread across the archipelago makes me realize that we need to do something in order to connect to each other, regardless of our geographical existence. And how to solve that? And these 4B projects, I also got inspiration from our dear members based on their life testimonies. And I quoted 2 live testimonies from our members that I could capture, as well as some verbal expression that were off the record at that time. But some of our members were very excited to have the offline meeting of SCBD Toastmasters as we used to have prior to the pandemic. And that encapsulates in my head and also in my dream that these 4B projects is not merely a simple abbreviation, but 4B project stands for building bonds, breaking boundaries, as a road to SCBD goes hybrid. And allow me to elaborate this project in the usual term of 5 W's question. The first one, I would start with, what is it? What is this 4B's project? So building bonds, breaking boundaries projects is a hybrid meeting that can accommodate our members regardless of their residence, and also the guests, particularly for those who can come to our physical meeting here in Jakarta. But the fact that we also need to consider that our members are also spread across the nation, we can also connect people, be it our members or the guests, who are unable to be present in person here in Jakarta. So that is basically how we will conduct this hybrid meeting for once and for all. The second one will be when will it be held, when will it be conducted as for our meeting or the hybrid meeting. The first proposal comes to be the end of this month, or the last Friday of this month, that will be the 27th of May, 2022. But we also have the alternative schedule to be held on the first week of June. More or less, to sum up, this hybrid meeting will be conducted either this May or next month. So this is also the initial step for SCBD Toastmasters to have this hybrid meeting, because as we all know that everything is going back to normal. Some of the public places, public facilities are now back for public visits. So this is something that we need to adjust in accordance with the hype and excitement from our members as well. The third question will be, where will it be conducted, or where will be the venue? Now, as of yesterday, we have already made a shortlist venue for the possibilities of where we are going to have this hybrid meeting. So 5 to 7 shortlist venues have been approached as we try to find the venue where it can accommodate up to 35 people in it. Some possible areas still nearby the SCBD SCBD area in Central Jakarta and South Jakarta, but there are other possibilities such as Kuningan and also Tamrin still in Central or South Jakarta. So stay tuned for more updates regarding this venue, as we are trying to find a suitable place that can accommodate many of us regardless of where we are. Now, who are the teams amongst behind of this plan? Allow me to introduce to you all that these 3 outstanding members, and I will be working closely with the treasurer, Toastmaster Hani, regarding the budget and the venue, as both of us are still actively contacting and approaching those possible venues, as well as the new list that might come to our list as well. And also liaising with Toastmaster Shauki as the Sergeant at Arms regarding logistics, also collaborating with social and reception team regarding technical issues later. And lastly, of course, reaching out to our Vice President for Education regarding the educational agenda, as well as our Vice President for Public Relations for the promotional materials. And lastly, why these 4 BIS projects must be happened? Because it is time. It is time for us to finally reconnecting to all of the members. And it is also the time for us to optimize your membership here in Toastmasters and fostering the essence of joining the club, because, you know, Toastmasters will not be the real Toastmasters if we cannot meet in person, right? And of course, to curate the memories with fellow members and peers. And obviously, last but not least, to build bonds and break boundaries. Geographical barriers are just the set of boundaries that we can break all together, because together, either physically or virtually, we still can connect to each other from heart to heart. That is all from me regarding the plan. And now I'll give it back to our Toastmaster of the meeting.
Okay, build bonds and break boundaries. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Garda, for your speech. Now we go to the 4th speaker and final prepared speaker, which is Toastmaster Andreas. Can we share the screen again? Okay, thank you very much. Now, by the way, Toastmaster Andreas is doing a contest speech practice, so there will be no evaluators, but he will give us a link so we can evaluate his speech. So without further ado, Toastmaster Andreas, are you ready?
Am I audible and visible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, I can't see everyone.
Okay,
it's all black. It's okay, I'll time myself because right now I can't see the timer.
The timer is raising her hand. Can you notify her?
Yeah, I can see her, but it's like black in color. I think like my internet is a little bit laggy. But if you guys can see me and it's not laggy, then it should be fine.
Okay, it's not laggy and you can proceed with your speech, Toastmaster Andreas.
Awesome, thank you. So should I just start any time I'm ready?
Yes, you can start.
Back in school, do you have a classmate that everyone loves? Hey, maybe it's you. Well, fellow SCBD Toastmasters. Not me. I threw bubble gums at my classmate. I poked pencils at them. I was every teacher's nightmare. But every morning when I walk into the classroom, they all shouted, "Hey, Andreas!" Aw, so sweet. Sadly, it was just my fantasy. In reality, nobody talked to me. When all I wanted was attention, all I see was judgment. Even my principal, Miss Rebecca, she was my personal policewoman. Her office, more like prison. Her favorite punishment, slamming a block of wood to my behind. Ow. But if you think that's all, no. She kicked me out of school. Imagine, if this were you, how would you feel? Awful? Well, not me. Awful? More like awesome. New school? Nice. This time I will behave and then everyone will love me. Every morning when I walk into the classroom, they still ignored me. Huh. In that case, maybe they need some more bubble gums and pencils, right? Right? Well, I was wrong. Because the next thing I know, maybe you can guess what happened. I was once again on my walk of shame to my principal's office. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I've been to a lot of principal offices, but that one time, oh, I was trembling. Mr. Pishu, the principal, he was this big Indian guy. When he walks, earthquake. When he talks, earthquake. Everyone froze when he's around. As soon as I saw Mr. Pishu, all I could think about was which other part of my body would get slammed again this time. But surprisingly, after almost 10 years of silence, this is what happened. So, Andreas, I need your help for our school's event next month. We need someone to organize. Me? Is this a punishment? Do you want a punishment? Oh, no, sir. I'll do it. Organize an event. Okay. Good. Okay. Let's talk with the others later. For now, here, take this. Do you know what he gave me? A piece of chocolate candy? Now, if you feel confused, me too. Why was I not punished? Why my help? Wait, is this chocolate candy poisonous? Ladies and gentlemen, I never expected that this chocolate candy would have become my turning point. When my classmates learned that I received a chocolate candy instead of a punishment, they couldn't believe it. When I walked into the classroom, they all shouted, "Hey, Andreas, tell us the story. How?"
Network problem, I think. Connection lost.
I think we lost the connection.
Lost connection. Okay. Oh, you're back to Hi, Toastmaster Andreas. Can you hear us?
I think he's still frozen.
Oh, okay, I think he's disconnected for a moment. Okay, while we are maybe we are still waiting for him to rejoin with us. Toastmaster Wira.
Hello.
Okay,
Hello.
you can take over for a while. And oh, Toastmaster Andreas is now coming back. Right. Okay, you may take over, Toastmaster Wira, as the Tom.
Okay, so I think we should see the temporary time report, or should we just jump to table topics?
Time report.
Okay. Okay. So timer, is everybody eligible to be voted?
Yes, everyone are eligible to be voted. I will send it to text box. But what about Toastmaster Andreas?
Should we just wait for Toastmaster Andreas, or can you guys hear me? Well,
wait, I will send it to chat box. But the last time Toastmaster Andreas speech. So everyone is eligible to be voted.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Yara.
okay. So should we just make a ballot, Toastmaster Agung?
Yes, please.
All right, so I just want to make sure that Mr. Andreas are included in the eligibility or no?
No, there will only be 3 speakers.
3 speakers, yeah. All right, sure. Let me share the ballot. Okay, so guys, please find the links in the chat box, so you may click and you may cast your vote there. So I will give you 1 minute to cast your vote. The time starts now. Happy voting.
Okay, 1 minute of silence. 1 minute of silence.
All right, I think the 1 minute silence is up.
Okay, and 1 minute's up.
Yep, and now we got 16 votes. I think we still have some more that hasn't voted yet. So you can still vote after this. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So we should go to the table topic or go for the group photo session first?
We can go to table topics first.
Okay. So yep. Okay. Sorry. Let's share screen again. Hello. Okay. Now let's go for the table topic session. which will be led by Toastmaster Septika. And she wants you to play again. Toastmaster Septika, the screen is yours.
Hello, happy morning, everyone.
Happy morning.
Good morning.
Happy morning, Toastmaster Septi.
Well, yeah. So tonight I will lead about the table topic master as a table topic master, and I share about the screen. Wait for a while. Okay. Yeah. So, as we know that our tonight's meeting theme is Boo, a scary good time, with word of the day streak. So I wanted to encourage you guys to use this word of the day frequently. And we move to the next. So to all of you, maybe who just joined or already joined our session, I wanted to explain a little bit about the table topic session. What is the table topic? It's a spontaneous speaking to respond an impromptu question or topic, and about the benefit to help members or guests develop their ability to organize their thoughts quickly, and how to do table topics. So me will give you a question or topic, and you will have 1 until 2 minutes to respond to the question or the topic. So maybe you ask who can join the table topic. Everyone in this meeting could join the table topic session. So here, I have several vocabularies. So you could choose one of them, but in this session, I wanted to choose also about the speaker. Why I wanted to do that? Because I wanted to see you shriek when I call your name. Or maybe I could see you shriek when I have opened the topic. So let's begin. I wanted to call for the first speaker might be Toastmaster Andy. Are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah, Toastmaster Andy, how are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah. Well, Toastmaster Andy, which word you wanted to choose?
Shadow.
Sorry?
Shadow.
Shadow. Okay.
Yeah.
A bat is more terrifying than an owl. A bat is more terrifying than an owl. 1 to 2 minutes to share your opinion. So please, Toastmaster Andy, the screen is yours.
Okay. A bat is more terrifying than an owl. I would agree with this statement because, yeah, when I see a bat, I would shriek in terrifying feeling because it reminds me about the vampire. Am I correct? Vampire or vampire? It's been a long time. And moreover, this night is a Friday night. And tomorrow is the 13th of May. So it's completely a combination of things and the date that can come to my mind that something will happen when I see the bat rather than an owl. Because when I see an owl, I think, yeah, it reminds me what we call in bahasa as burung goreng, rather than something that terrifying me. So, yes, yeah, it's much more terrified to see a bat rather than an owl. Because when I see an owl, I feel hungry. That's all from me. Thank you.
Well done, Toastmaster Andy. No, I totally agree with you that sometimes we could make it fun of the thing according to the topic that we discuss about. So I just how to say it? I just surprised that you said burung goreng. Actually, it is more delicious than chicken, right? And it totally makes me hungry also for this night.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
well, let's move to the next speaker. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So for the next speaker, I wanted to call Toastmaster Fadia. Toastmaster Fadia, are you there? I think no. Well, let's move. Maybe we move to Toastmaster Honey. Toastmaster Honey, are you there?
No, Toastmaster Honey is not in the room.
Okay, I think she has left. How
about our guests?
Yeah.
We have guest Ika, guest Cindy, and guest Ipon.
Well, guest Cindy, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Well, guest Cindy. So which word you wanted to choose?
I choose spider.
Spider, let's see. You walk alone in the dark and dogs unexpectedly bark at you. What will you do? You walk home alone in the dark and dogs unexpectedly bark at you. What will you do?
I think I will run as fast.
Yeah.
I think I will run as fast as I can because in my assumption, I can't see where the dogs are and I am pretty scared. That's it for me.
Okay, well done. That's the same things that I also wanted to do. Guest Cindy, thank you for your participation. But now how if we move to the next guest? Guest for Ika. Yes, Ika, are you there? Yes, Ika.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, yes, Ika.
I will choose ghost.
Ghost. Let me check it for you. Yeah. Sometimes the things you see in the shadows are more than just shadows. 1 to 2 minutes. The screen is yours.
All right. About the ghosts, the things you see in the shadow are more than just shadows. If I'm alone and I'm afraid of something that I don't know, something like ghosts or shadows, I will try to calm myself and try to not overreact it for something that I don't know, because it can harmful for me, like being overreacted for something that I don't see or something that I'm not sure about. So I will take my time to just think what will be the best decisions, and I will try as best as I can to remain calm and not to do something something that will harmful for me. That's it. Thank you. Hello.
Toastmaster Septi, are you there? Okay, I think we lost the connection from the Toastmaster of the meeting. Just a second.
Hello, hello.
Yes,
Toastmaster Septika. Toastmaster Septika left the meeting.
She
lost the connection.
She just come back.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so sorry for the technical issue. Yeah. So let me to share the screen again.
Toastmaster Andreas would like to try. Toastmaster Septi.
Yeah. Maybe Toastmaster Andreas.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, Toastmaster Andreas.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well,
I'd like to go
with what?
coffin.
Coffin. Let me open it for you. Better to walk in the dark in the mist. Better to walk in the dark than in the mist. The screen is yours. Visiting Toastmaster Andreas.
Better to walk in the dark than in the mist. I wouldn't think that way. I would probably choose to walk in the mist, because in the mist, even though it's blurry, I can still see where my direction in general should be. And somehow when I get this picture, I thought of my own life. Like growing up, I was always this person who never knew what I wanted to do. Who should I be? What will I become? Have you also had that kind of questions growing up? At least for me, I am an Indonesian who went to China. And guess what will be the major that I would take when I spend my university here? A lot of people would say, oh, maybe accounting, maybe management, maybe marketing, science, technology. Well, do you know? I take English. Exactly. I'm someone from Indonesia who went to China to learn English. Isn't it weird? I know. Like every time my dad tells this to my cousins, to my relatives, they will have like this huge question mark. But I have a huge, an even bigger question mark on my head. Like, what am I doing here? It feels like I'm walking in the dark. But somehow, it's funny because when I found this Toastmasters thing, I started to finally found a little bit of light, rays of reflection. Oh, so this is why I am pretty good at language. This is why I love writing. So this is why I've been reading a lot. These vocabularies, now I can use it in my speech. And those specks of light start to give me a direction, what I want to pursue. And today, even with all this unclearness, all those darkness, I finally found a job as a public speaking coach in debate. And obviously it's not as clear. I'm still in the mist, but I found that being in the mist give me a slight direction rather than being in the dark. And even with that direction, I will keep pursuing and I will keep going there. So for all of us today here in this room, anywhere where you are, with that tiny speck of light, I just hope that we're not gonna find that we're lost, but follow that ray of light, and who knows? Maybe we can find our way out of the forest. So maybe it's not gonna be that spooky anymore. So yeah, I'll hand the stage back to Toastmaster Septi.
Yeah, thank you, visiting Toastmaster Andreas. Whoa, I just have one word that very encouraging us. For me, that is keep going is the key for us. And so right now I wanted to move maybe to PTM Dika. PTM Dika, are you there?
Do you call me?
Yeah, PTM Dika.
Oh, okay.
Well,
But sorry,
yeah.
I cannot open my camera. Is it okay?
That's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then.
Yeah. Well, PTM Dika, which word you wanted to choose?
Which one that I haven't chosen yet?
We have 3, 6, and 9. So we have Mummy, Ghost, Monster, Warlock, Blood, Magic, Goblin, Skeleton, and Spell.
Ghost, I think.
Ghost. Okay, let me open it. Oh, sorry. Ghost has already taken. Maybe you can choose another.
What else? They haven't.
Mummy,
Mummy.
Monster, Warlock, Blood, Magic, Goblin, Skeleton, and Spell.
Spell.
Spell. Okay, let me do. So here it is. You go to a nearby store to buy something, but the street lights suddenly go up, and a flock of bats fly by in front of you. What is the first thought that comes into your mind?
Oh wait, yeah. let me read the question again.
Yeah. So let me to repeat it. You go to a nearby store to buy something, but the street lights suddenly go out, and a flock of bats fly by in front of you. What is the first thought that comes into your mind?
Okay.
Well, PTM Dika, the script is yours.
Thank you for the questions. Okay, if I given the questions and the circumstance as well, the first thing that I probably would do if I encounter bats in the middle of the night, I think it's natural reactions though, shocked, of course. But then usually in this kind of situations, as I've experienced as well, usually I just stare at the bed doing nothing. Yes, shock, of course, but that's it. I don't know, maybe I'm kind of slow to react though. You can, if you can call it slow to react, but the most natural reaction that I would have is yes, shock, and then just stare at the beds. Then probably just continue on walking, I guess. I don't know, I'm just kind of slow in responding something though. I mean, like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, bats comes in my direction, and then what? I kind of said like, I don't know what to do. Like just shock, of course. Then that's it, I think. And I will continue on what I need to do. Like say I need to go to certain directions, then I will just go to the directions and then just do what I need to do. So that's it. I'm probably at the first. I don't really actually. I don't know. I'm into. I'm in the middle of between believing in believing and not believing in metaphysics and something that I cannot see. So or or in this kind of situations when it is frightening situations as well. Most of the time I will remain composed. So yeah, probably shocks just a little bit, but then I will continue on. Maybe that's my reaction, my questions to the questions. Thank you.
Well, yeah, thank you for CTM Dika. I also might do the same thing, but after I shock, maybe I would shriek. So guys, don't forget to use shriek as much as possible. Okay, yeah, thank you for VTM Dika. Okay, let's move on. Maybe we could, how about if we move to VTM Rahmania? VTM Rahmania, are you there? Okay, maybe we just move to another. How about the guest Ivoni?
Yeah, sure, I can try. Thank you, table topic master.
Yeah.
I can try blood.
Yeah.
Blood.
Blood.
Hello?
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
So, yeah. Wow. So this is from the film Dawn of the Dead. In the film, there is a statement, when there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth. When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth. 1 to 2 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank
when
you.
there is no more room in the hell, the dead will walk the earth. I think from this line, it just makes me. I didn't see the movie, but it's just for my imagination. The hell, what the hell in my imagination? Actually, the hell is just our human being. How to say? Our mindset. If I'm in the purity mindset, sometimes we make us in the hell. So actually, if we have the guilty mindset in the here, actually we couldn't have a good living power in these worlds. So in the daily time, I just encourage myself how to improve my mindset or my thought in a virtual state, so that I can avoid to be in the hell. Because the hell and in the heaven, it's just our mind transformed in different states. So if I can maintain a good health mindset, actually, I couldn't be in the hell. So even I don't have to scare into the death. Yeah, this is my thought. Thank you. Back to our table topic master.
Well, thank you. Thank you, guest Ivani. Well, right now, I also agree with that statement. So we can also, actually, we could do many good things to make ourselves to in the good place in the further time. Yeah, except for the hell. Well, right now I wanted to move again. Maybe we could. I wanted to give a try to guest Daddy Mustari. Hello. Hello,
Yeah.
Daddy Mustari. Are you there?
Yes.
Yeah. You available to speak on this table topic?
What is yet to be picked?
Okay, well, so here we have 6 vocabularies.
Okay.
Maybe you can choose one of them.
I want to go with magic, but I'm interested in warlock.
Warlock. Okay, let me open it. Better to pet a raven than an owl. Better to pet a raven than an owl. 1
Is
to
it
2 minutes.
literal meaning or is it an idiom?
That's a meaning.
That's literal meaning.
Yeah,
Okay.
the meaning. And we just asked about your opinion on this statement.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, well, 1 to 2 minutes. The screen is yours. Please, Miss guest Dini.
Okay. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. My name is Dini Mustari. I have a question, guys. Who is the fan of Harry Potter here? Raise your hand. Okay. It seems like everyone doesn't like Harry Potter because no one actually raised their hands. Yeah, if we see Harry Potter, we notice that those sorcerers or those wizards or the witches actually pat an owl instead of a raven. But in my perspective, these two types of bird are really interesting to be pat. Is because let's see from the perspective of how people like raven more, and then afterward we're gonna see from the how people want to pat an owl more. In the perspective of why raven is actually interesting pat is because raven is actually one of the smartest bird you can actually pat. Raven can actually learn how to take food from a bottle that is actually locked, or they will use a stick to take out the food that is actually stuck in the bottle. That's how interesting Raven is. So if you can actually teach Raven to do certain things like stealing, oh, that's not a good thing. Like taking something from ever you want it to, then Raven actually can do it. But I believe that's not what you want to pet Raven, right? Even though it looks scary to pet Raven, but Raven is actually really good animal to pet. On the other hand, an owl is actually also very interesting to pet. It's because an owl can actually bring or transport your letter to somebody else, including the love of letter or everything that you actually can want to transport. That's actually how you can see from Harry Potter movies. But every time I see how they get mad, it makes me shriek. It's because Raven can actually pull out your eyes if they are being so aggressive. So it's based on you guys, which pet you want to choose. It's Raven or bird or owl. It's based on you. I think that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, guest Daddy, you totally make us reconsider about what kind of the bird that we could pet. Almost of all, I think that maybe we usually to meet that everyone pet an owl, but tonight you make us reconsider about to pet a raven. Well, right now I wanted to maybe we move to Toastmaster Anggitami. Toastmaster Anggitami, are you available? Toastmaster Anggi, yeah. Hello, Toastmaster Anggi, how are you?
Very fine.
Well, which word you want to choose? I wonder.
Goblin.
Goblin. Oh, let me to check it for you. So, in the Walking Dead movie, Norman Reedus say, "I don't think anyone wants to cuddle a zombie." 1 to 2 minutes. Please, Toastmaster Anggi, the screen is yours.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible. Maybe you could make your volume higher. Yeah, but it seems like still far away. Your voice still seems far away. Maybe you could make the
Am I audible?
yeah, okay, it's better right now. Please.
I don't think anyone wants to cuddle a zombie. Should I start now?
Okay, please.
Okay. Hi everyone. And if you think about zombie, what do you have first thing in mind? Anyone? Scary or not? Is it the current one? All right. So if I think about zombie, the first thing that I recall is like my okay, the film Train to Busan. Anyone haven't watched that movie, Train to Busan? Yeah. Okay. See you. Okay, that's really the film that the zombie that I really like. I don't like the Chernobyl Diaries or any other zombie, but Train to Busan I like it because what? Because the zombie itself is really interesting and really have so many learning that we can learn from friendship to lovers to family zombie. And if the zombie, if the spoiler is the main character in that is become the zombie, right? Yes. So if the zombie is like that actor in the like the Gong Yu, the actor, the zombie itself, I want to cuddle him. Yeah, that's from me. Thank you. That's from me. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Toastmaster Anggi. So guys, I think it was the end of the table topic session. Thank you for all of you that has who has joined and also participated in this session. And thank you for this opportunity. Back to you, Toastmaster of Meeting, Toastmaster Wira. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, our lovely table topic masters, Toastmaster Septi. Yeah, I just want to make sure to our timer first. Yeah, are they eligible to be voted, Toastmaster Yara?
Okay, I already sent to chat box. Everyone eligible to be voted except Toastmaster Andreas and guest Cindy. Guest Cindy, it's only 2 seconds, and Toastmaster Andreas 2 minutes 41 seconds. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster Raki.
All right, thank you so much. Our timer, so be ready. Are you ready, Mr. Ballot Counter?
Yes, I will share the link in the chat box. Wait a second. Yes, I already shared the link in the chat box. So the 1 minute silence is starting now.
All right. All right, let's take a picture together. This is the moment for us to open the camera, showing your beautiful and handsome face. And let's take a picture, and the picture will be forever in the internet. Maybe wants to take a picture. Toastmaster Andika, is it okay?
Yeah, hold on, please.
All right.
Okay. So is everyone ready to take a picture? If those people who can turn on their videos, that will be great because we can see your expression and we can also have your picture in our Instagram. So I will count into 5. So please turn on your video if you're available. 1, 3, and 5. Okay, now let's do 3 poses, okay? The poses are free, it's up to you. First pose, 1, 2, 3. Okay, let me get that. And second pose, 3, 2, 1. One more. The final ultimate pose, 3, 2, 1. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Toastmaster Andika, for took our pictures tonight. And before we move to another session, which is the evaluation session, let's rewatch or let's re-witness Toastmaster Andreas' speech. So, Toastmaster Andreas, the screen is yours.
Okay. All right. Back in school, do you have a classmate that everyone loves? Hey, maybe it's you. Well, fellow SCBD Toastmasters. Still not me. I threw bubblegums at my classmates. I poked pencils at them. I was every teacher's nightmare. But when I walked into the classroom, they all shouted, "Hey, Andreas!" Aw, so sweet. Sadly, it was just my fantasy. In reality, nobody talked to me. When all I wanted was attention, all I see was judgment. Even my principal, Miss Rebecca, she was my personal policewoman. Her office, more like prison. Her favorite punishment, slamming a block of wood to my behind. Ow. Well, if you think that's all, no. She kicked me out of school. Imagine, if this were you, how would you feel? Awful? Well, not me. Awful? More like awesome. New school? Nice. This time I will behave and then everyone will love me. Every morning when I walk into the classroom, they all still ignored me. Huh. In that case, maybe I should give them more bubblegums and pencils, right? Huh? Well, no, I was wrong. Because the next thing I know, you can probably guess what happened. I was once again on my walk of shame to the principal's office. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I've been to a lot of principal offices, but that one time, oh, I was trembling. Mr. Pishu, the principal, he was this big Indian guy. When he walks, earthquake. When he talks, earthquake. Everyone froze when he's around. The moment I see Mr. Pishu, all I could think about was which other part of my body would be slammed again this time. But strangely, after almost 10 years of silence, this is what happened. So, Andreas, I need your help for a school's event next month. We need someone to organize. Is this a punishment? Do you want the punishment? No, sir. I'll do it. Organize an event. Okay. Good. Okay, let's talk with the others later. For now, here, take this. Do you know what he gave me? A piece of chocolate candy? Now, if you feel confused, me too. Why was I not punished? Why my help? Wait, is this chocolate candy poisonous? Ladies and gentlemen, I never expected that this chocolate candy would have become my turning point. When my classmates learned that I received a chocolate candy instead of a punishment, they couldn't believe it. When I walked into the classroom, they all shouted, "Hey, Andreas, tell us the story. Tell us the story. How come?" Aww, so sweet. Now, if you think after that day, I never make troubles again, not really. But that day was the first time I was not treated as a nobody, but instead as somebody. That day was my first time that I was not given a punishment, but instead a trust. And so that day, I vividly remember telling myself that I will not waste this chocolate candy, this second chance. Fellow Toastmasters, that semester, I organized one of my school's biggest festivals ever. Slowly but surely, I started to treat my classmates differently. Less bubblegums, no more pencils. And they too started to look at me differently. Less judgment. Until one day, it was class election, and I was chosen to be the class president. Fellow Toastmasters, isn't it nice and sweet when others can give us a second chance to become better? If so, isn't it also sweet if we can give others a second chance? This troublemaker would never have dreamt of becoming a class president if not for Mr. Pishu, if not for his chocolate candy, which gave me a chance to show people that no matter how messy or wrinkled I am on the outside, I am still a chocolate candy in the inside. And so are you, us. Which is why today, when I see people make mistakes, I can look at them with judgment, slam them with punishment, or I can give them my own chocolate candies, my own second chance. Because who doesn't want a second chance in their life, right? So, fellow candy lovers and givers, maybe not all mistakes require punishment. Maybe all of us, we too, can become Mr. Pishu. And maybe one day, who knows, we will hear another chocolate candy speech. But this time, it will be about you. Back to you.
What an awesome speech. I just speechless. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Andreas, for your speech. I couldn't agree more because, yeah, everyone are imperfect. Everyone ever made mistake, and everyone should be given the second chance. So thank you so much for that. I hope your speech will encourage us and motivate us to be a better person in the future. And now it's the time for the evaluation session. For the first, I will call Toastmaster Indah to evaluate Toastmaster Dini's speech. So Toastmaster Indah, the screen is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the meeting. Toastmaster Israki. Let's give a round of applause, everyone, to Toastmaster Dini, that she has delivered her speech, which is the title was Beauty of Imperfection, but I only found beauty there. Congratulations, Toastmaster Dini. First of all, when I heard your speech, I didn't find that you are delivering your very first speech. It was flowing just like you've been experienced before. I like the way you deliver your speech in sandwich way, which is you had the opening when you engage your audience by asking a question there, and you have the content after that, and you have a good closing. I also saw that Toastmaster Dini had a perfect comfort level by delivering her speech. She enjoyed her speech as if there was never been any obstacles before. If I may suggest, as this is a nice break of speech when you are introducing yourself to the audience, with just say that as if we never knew about you, let's enhance something, put your personal experience there. For example, when you mentioned that you're feeling imperfect when any of your colleagues got promoted, and you're mentioning that why cannot me? Maybe you can just add also that a vocal variety like, why not me? What about me? Something like that. But anyhow, Toastmaster Dini, I personally really love your speech, the way you delivered, first of all. And the second, and of course, the title and the content really wrap into the good closing as well. Back to you, G or Toastmaster of the meeting, Toastmaster Israki.
All right, thank you so much, Toastmaster Inda. I just take a note from Toastmaster Inda. Evaluation is about vocal variety. It's the important thing while we are doing public speaking. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Inda, for the evaluation. Let's move on to the second evaluator. The second evaluator will be Toastmaster Uyun. So Toastmaster Uyun, the screen is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Salman, for sharing the tips how to make our yearly family gathering to be more joyful for everyone. I think Toastmaster Salman has reached the purpose that he intended, which is to persuade everyone to make this yearly family gathering to be more constructive and fun for everyone. Well structured and thoughtfully written. That is the strength that Toastmaster Salman has shown to us today. Yeah, no wonder that his credential exposure in our IG is as a writer. Toastmaster Salman chose a topic which is relatable for everyone in this timing. He also broke down he also shared the personal story and then broke down the tips, summarized in the end, and also shared the call of action, the call to action for everyone. So that kind of formula is good, that the speech crafting is the strength that Toastmaster Salman has. Considering the purpose of his speech is to persuade, I think he can add some spices. For example, the sense of urgency and the stage presence. In my observation, there are some words that can be like more expressive. For example, there's a sentence like, this yearly event should not be a torture for people who might not achieve the KPI in life. It can be more expressive media. Like for example, this yearly event should not be a torture for people who might not achieve the KPI that society set. You don't want to add your scene just after asking their forgiveness, right? For example, adding that kind of audience engagement can work too. I think this like vocal variety and then gesture or like facial expression or audience engagement can give more like sense of urgency in this kind of persuasion. So another comment is only small in the stage present. For example, you can move your camera back a bit so we can see more of your gesture, because I saw that Toastmaster Salman showed some hand gesture. So I think Toastmaster Salman has reached the purpose that he intended, to persuade us to make the yearly family gathering after it to be more joyful, and we become more careful when conversing with our relative. And I think the other audience will agree with me. So congratulations to Toastmaster Salman, and looking forward to your next speeches.
All right, thank you so much, Toastmaster Yun. I just took some notes from Toastmaster Yun evaluations. It's about vocal variety again and again, vocal variety. It's okay, that's my problem also sometimes. Vocal variety, gesture, and when we can mix them, we can create the audience engagement. So thank you so much for Toastmaster Yun. Let's move on to our third evaluator, which is Toastmaster Andika. So for Toastmaster Andika, the screen is yours.
Ya, hasilnya aja.
An Indian author said, "Being happy is good, but spreading happiness among others is even better." That is what I saw from Toastmaster Garda while delivering his speech. His facial expression was very conducive and supporting his topics. It's about positive news about the hybrid meeting of SCBD Toastmasters Club. And when I saw him opening the slides, the slide was smoothly transitioned and it didn't get me distracted. And the last thing that I like from Toastmaster Garda, he chooses the words carefully. For example, building bonds, breaking boundaries, BB and BB. So they are easy to remember for the audience. What I can offer you as an area of development, Toastmaster Garda, is at the beginning, when you said you have 5, you did this hand gesture, and this is spot on. But then when you explain the first question, second question, it will be better if you can use one. First question is when, and second question is who, what. So we know where you are amongst the 5. So besides the hand gesture, I would like to offer you to emphasize on the who slide. When you display who, but the pointers were actions. Yes, you did display the 3 of you, but then it would be great if the title is who, then you can say who is doing what instead of only what. So those are the slides revision that I can offer you. And for the next speech, I would like to challenge you to make an engaging closing. Since the purpose of the speech is to introduce an exciting plan, exciting news, to get people excited, so to make the audience shriek of joy, you can make an engaging closing, for example. So who is up for this great initiative? Because this is the part that you want to encourage the team. You want to make your plan get buy-in from your audience, so you can make a great closing with your gesture and with your statement, because I saw that your facial expression was spot on, because I like it. You really knew what you want. So if you can put that into a good gesture and then a good statement, like who is up for this great initiative, I believe your speech will be much more impactful than you did. Overall, I like your speech and I'm looking forward to see your other speech. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Andika. What I take note from Toastmaster Andika evaluation is choosing a word is important when deliver our speech, and engaging closing to make the audience read while we are explain the exciting news. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Andika, for the evaluations. And now is the part for our general evaluator team. But before that, I will call Toastmaster Yara, who is eligible to be voted.
Hello, me again. I already sent to chat box. Everyone eligible to be voted. So congratulations. And back to you, Toastmaster Raki. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Yara, as our timer. So, Mr. Ballot Counter, are you ready? All right.
Yes, I'm ready. I already shared the link in the chat box. Thank you. Happy voting, guys.
Happy voting. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Agung. Happy voting, everyone. While we are cash your vote, let's move on to our grammarian. So, Toastmaster Dentia, the screen is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raki. Apologize, guys. I could not turn on my camera. Some problem with my laptop. I'll share my screen, though. Just a second. Okay, let me know if you can see my screen.
It is visible.
Okay,
Yes,
thank
visible.
you. So, great job, everyone. I didn't catch many errors tonight. And I think everyone shared a lot of insightful message and beautiful quotes. But yeah, I'm sometimes poor in listening, so I could not write them all, but I write some that I found very useful for us. First one is the common errors. Maybe the first one is to be more mindful with the word choice. Yeah. When we say to all the speakers, please be noticed. Instead of saying notice, maybe we can say please be aware. Or if you don't want to say the word aware, please notice. Right. This was this referred to, I think, when the timer showed the background and someone said, okay, to all the speakers, please be aware of the time or the background changes. Next one is the elimination of the preposition. I want to share about my screen. You can remove about, just I want to share my screen. And then some of us love to say so and so and so. And there are other words to say so. So you can also say hence, therefore, thus, accordingly, or similarly, or depending on what the so means to you. Yeah, if it's so means very, you can say really, or say to, yeah, T-double-O. And then likewise, actually also is heavily used tonight. So you can say in fact, as a matter of fact, truth to be told, or indeed, to change the actual. The next one is the use of passive voice. Yeah, the formula, I would say, to form a passive voice is to be plus past participle or verb 3. Everyone is eligible to be voted. Just slightly minor error there, vote to be voted, right? Because that voted in past participle is a voice one, voted. Ghost has already taken. So if you say ghost has already taken, so the ghost took someone or something. But if that ghost particularly has been taken, right, by someone else, so we need to add to be before the taken. The next one is subject-verb agreement. Everybody, although it's referred to a group of people, we still consider everybody as a singular pronoun. So everybody is eligible. Afraid is an adjective. We need to be or another verb before the adjective. So I am afraid, same like harmful. So harmful will be harmful instead of will harmful. All of you who has, you need to change it to have because it refers to the group of people. While we are, I didn't get whether it's active or passive, but either way, when you use to be, at least follow by verb ing, or if you want to use the passive voice as the previous one, you can use past participle. Next one is the pronunciation. Let's try to pronounce these 3 words. You can unmute yourself. Number 1.
Focus.
Focus,
Okay.
yes. That's right. So it's not focus or something, yeah? If I can play focus. Okay, so the U here, you don't need to pronounce as U, yeah? So you said focus. The next one?
Cousin.
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 Cousin. Yes, it's not cousin or cousin, yeah? It's cousin. The last one?
Raven.
Raven.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, it's pronounced raven, not raven. Okay, the last one is the beautiful quotes from all of you. From Toastmaster Dini, I believe that the failure has a part of, is a part of the progress. From Toastmaster Garda, building bonds, breaking boundaries. This is what we all need to hear tonight. And I hope the plan is working well and we will meet each other very soon. The next one is from Toastmaster Andreas. Maybe not all mistakes require punishment. Well, I cannot put the entire phrases, but what I get is instead you can share your chocolate candy. From Toastmaster Aki to requote Toastmaster Andreas, I think everyone should be given a second chance. I think that's all from my side. Back to you, General Evaluator.
All right, thank you so much, Toastmaster Dentia, as our grammarian for tonight. It feels like in English Academy, it's so what is it to say, complete to take note that. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Dentia. And let's move on to another evaluator, another general evaluator team. I will call Toastmaster Bernadette as our AWOD counter.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Aki. So allow me to share my screen. Yeah. So overall, all the speakers delivered these speeches very well. And tonight we also spotted, in total, there were 9 word of the days. Thank you very much for all the speakers that include the word of the days in their speeches. And there are also still several, long pause and filler, the empty filler that I found in this night at this night. So we still identify there are in total still 15 and then 10 and then 2 long pauses and several repeated words like that also I want and I just that's all from me. So I hope that the WOD evaluation tonight would be valuable for us for our further development, and improving our speeches in the next time. Thank you, Toastmaster Ishraki. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Toastmaster Bernadette, as our WOD counter. And this is the last from the general evaluator, which is me. First of all, I would like to say congratulations to all speakers, prepared speaker, table topic speakers, and evaluator speakers. Congratulations for your speech. Finally, we got back after a long holiday. It's nice to see you here again. And maybe the evaluation for me, one is congratulations for the meeting started on time. And second, if in my humble opinion, we should call our members by Toastmasters, not TM, because that's our brand. And the third, I would like to say congratulations to the table topic master, which brings the intriguing topics for tonight. I love the way table topic master explained about what is table topic, which is come to the slide, not only the speech. So congratulations for that. And I think that's all. Maybe I will give the control to our Mr. Ballot Counter to announce the best speakers for tonight for the prepared speech and then evaluation and then table topic. So Toastmaster Agung, the screen is yours for the whole of them.
All right, thank you so much, Toastmaster Raki, for the time. So I will announce who is the most favorite prepared speakers and also the table topic speakers and as well as the evaluators. So allow me to share my screen. Is my screen visible? Yep. All right. So I'd like to announce who is the most favorite prepared speaker. Okay. So first, let me get this straight. The best prepared speaker is Toastmaster Garda. Congratulations, Toastmaster Garda, once again. And then the best table topic speaker. Can you guess who? Maybe one of your favorites. He is soon to be Toastmaster Daddy Mustari. Congratulations for the achievement, Toastmasters. Soon to be Toastmaster Daddy. And then the last favorite speaker for evaluator is none other than Toastmaster Andika. Congratulations for that achievement. So congratulations for all the winners and also for the most favorite speakers for tonight. I will give the control back to Toastmaster Raki.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Ballot Counter. So congratulations to all winners. I hope I can hear your another story, another motivation, and yeah, thank you so much for that. And without any further ado, I will give it back the control to our Mr. President, Toastmaster Garda. The screen is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ishraki, and kudos to all rangers, individual speakers, and also individual evaluators. Congratulations, and also Toastmaster Septi for becoming the first table topics master ever in this meeting. Congratulations, and once again, congratulations to Toastmaster Dini for successfully delivering your icebreaker speech. Now that marks the kickoff journey of your Toastmaster Pathways exploration. I must believe that it will be such a new beginning. And also congratulations to Toastmaster Salman. You know what, if Toastmaster Uyun did not remind us that this is a new project in the new curriculum of the Toastmasters International Pathway system, I wouldn't be recognizing that that you were delivering a new project. But all in all, that was truly remarkable. And I hope that everyone will be able to do the same thing regarding your respective path, so that we'll be able to witness how emphasizing and how encouraging your speech is, so that we would be able to learn from each other. And also, it is an honor and privilege for us to witness your performance, Toastmaster Andreas. And we definitely hope you all the very best in your upcoming speech contest. If I'm not mistaken, it will be on Sunday, right? So good luck to you with that. And for everyone, feel free to drop your evaluation to Toastmaster Andreas' performance through the link that he has shared in the chat box. And before I adjourn this meeting, I would like to call some opinions and voices from our guests in particular. Do we still have Cindy here in the room? Hi, Cindy.
Hi.
Hi. Okay. Hi. Thank you for still tuning in until the very end. Is it possible for you to turn on your camera?
I'm sorry, I can't turn on my camera because my camera is not working right now.
Okay, that is okay. But perhaps could you please to give some words regarding our meeting today, and perhaps if you could also provide or to express in one word, what would it be to express your feeling towards our meeting today, and why is that?
I think tonight's meeting is pretty good and very well structured.
All right, thank you so much, Cindy, for your feedback. I do truly, well, I'm truly thankful and grateful for everyone's for dealing and tackling with the technical glitch that occurred throughout the meeting. That is something that we have always managed to bear with these technical issues from the very beginning of using this online platform. But nonetheless, everyone was doing a great job despite some technical issues, but we were still able to run until the very end of this meeting. Thank you, Cindy. We hope to see you again in the next session with us. And last but not least, okay, Toastmaster Andreas. I know that you're still in the room. Hi, Toastmaster Andreas. Hello.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, now you are with your microphone and slot. All right. Thank you so much for trusting SCBD as a club to practice your performance. But how are you, by the way?
Sorry?
How are you, by the way?
Well, if some of you might be updated with Shanghai's situation, we are locked like zoo animals, but we still have fun inside. So it's been recovering. So hopefully we'll be able to get out soon. Super jealous of you guys being able to go back to normal now in Indonesia. And I really want to go back to Indonesia.
I read news a few weeks ago about the lockdown in Shanghai. But I hope that everything is settled. I mean, I hope that it's not going worse or getting worse with regard to the COVID cases, and also I hope that it's safe there. But how did you find and how did you feel, despite the lockdown, how did you feel about our meeting today?
Yeah, so I found this club through DTM Harlina, who introduced me to Toastmasters Garda and eventually to you all. I've been flying virtually across the globe because I want to see other Toastmasters trying to make the best of the situation. So I really want to find a place where I can like get feedbacks from different audiences, because like doing a speech to the same audience, you sort of like become more familiar. But now having this different angles, I'd really appreciate the extra opinion, or just literally telling how did you feel? Do you feel like it was awkward, cheesy, something like that? And I found like this club obviously has its own uniqueness. Like I found the table topic sessions were extra special. Like we don't really use like a long statement. Back in our home club, we use like this 2 or 3 words prompt. For example, like let's say window, lamp, night, and then maybe you can make a table topic out of that. So I love that extra challenge. Well, which, by the way, if you guys want to travel to Shanghai, you're always more than welcome on Tuesday. We also on Zoom. I can share the link to Toastmasters Garda later on. I'd be more than happy to hook you up to any roles there. In fact, Toastmasters Garda will be going to our club next week, so I am super excited for that.
Awesome. Thank you, Toastmaster Andreas, for a warm welcome and the invitation to attend your club. Yeah, feel free to share your club roster and schedule to me personally so that I will spread the news also to our club as well. We'll be very happy and delightful to virtually flying. Well, flying is also virtual. To fly over the mainland that we'll be able to connect with each other. And
awesome.
Yeah. Once again, thank you so much for making your time here, and all the best to your speech contest in the upcoming days. So yeah, look forward to seeing you again in the next round. Obviously, you know our schedule every Friday evening, and don't forget to share your schedule as well, Mr. Andreas. All right. Despite the lockdown, stay safe and be well, and hopefully you have fun during the lockdown as well.
You too. All of you too.
All right, thank you, Mr. Andreas. And now we are coming down to an end. I know that we are running over time due to some technical glitch, but nonetheless, next week on the same schedule, Friday, May 20th, 2022 at 7 p.m. until 9 p.m. Jakarta time, we are returning to our regular meeting of SCBD Toastmasters. Stay tuned on our Instagram at SCBD Toastmasters so that you will be able to get updated with regard to our newest activities. Because not only do we have the upcoming and the preparation for our hybrid meeting, but also we are going to have the upcoming educational sessions. In my ears, I have two upcoming. Well, we have two upcoming educational sessions. So stay tuned for our updates. And that is all, I think. Yeah, everyone feel free to stay in the room so that we can network with each other in this main room. And once again, thank you for staying with us and have a good weekend. Everyone stay safe and be well. And with the power vested in me, I hereby adjourn this meeting. Happy weekend, everyone, and happy morning.
Happy morning.
Happy morning.
Happy weekend.
Thank you, everyone. Happy weekend.
Long weekend.
Happy long weekend.
Good morning.